A lot of them are calling and they just don't know what to do. Greta, yes, do you need help?
The stuff's here.
Oh, good. Did Brent just drop it off, or is he gone, or is he waiting?
No, he's good.
Okay, cool. I'll be out in just a second.
No problem.
I've got to start this over because it's going to sound like an arrogant turd. No, it bugged me that there's no standardization in the industry. There's no standardization of how to get a gig, how to behave, how to progress. People don't know what to do next, where to go, and it's rare that you'd find a teacher.
How important is that?
Don't you like the way he never asks relevant questions and they're always geared up to fuck us over?
It's important that people be taught.
Not interrupt.
No, it's very important that young bands learn what's best for them. It's neat how Steve has set up the way that opening acts get gigs. He hires a headliner, and the headliners tell him who they want playing in front of them. That way, one, Steve isn't dealing with chasing down lots of young bands, lots of bad phone numbers, lots of mom and pops, lots of answering machines, lots of messages left. He just leaves it up to the headliners. And two, and this is probably the most healthy thing, is that it means that musicians are picking the musicians that will be up and coming. And you get enough opening gigs, you can develop a draw if you're any good, and you can become a headliner yourself. And it's pretty obvious when you become a headliner because your draw gets pretty fat. There's a lot of people in the room, and maybe even more people in the room than the headlining act that's going after you. It's time you became a headliner. It's real obvious. It's an obvious progression. Get people in the room, get them paid, get them drinking. If they can't drink, then just get them paid, whatever. But that is kind of the bottom line, and economics has got to rear its ugly head somewhere.
Speaking of underpaid artists, another invoice. Although Barry is far more reasonable, Mr. Epstein, and his stuff is like 3 times better, so I guess I can't be mad about that. You know Epstein, that video guy? Barry at least completes tasks,
What is he, another starving artist?
Another bill. Anyway, I just think it's wonderful that young bands, that Steve allows the older bands to choose the younger bands. That way you have musicians choosing who the up-and-coming musicians are. I think that's real healthy. I think that's a way of passing on tradition, that's a way of passing on history, that's a way of honoring the past and building the future. But that doesn't talk much about, like, the night that someone threw up in the bathroom, or the night I walked into the women's bathroom and 2 naked people in body paints were humping. Those are more exciting First Avenue stories. Yeah, it was the night of that artist's, the art piece, the performance art piece, Sexus Civilis, Greek Jew meets Jew Greek. It was wonderful. No, it wasn't. It was terrible. If I wouldn't have been involved in it, I would have left.